Hello, in this tutorial we're going to cover the initial setup of the Joomla content management system. And for those of you that are not familiar with Joomla, Joomla is an open source content management solution that lets any beginner to advanced user that has used this type of application in the past to quickly set up and begin building their own website. Joomla is open source and can be downloaded from www.joomla.org. So the first thing we'll want to do is get familiar with the technical requirements and the application itself. So on your desktop, you'll want to open your favorite browser and go to www.joomla.org. And once on the website, you will notice the Download Joomla Get the Latest Version button. Go ahead and click on that, which will take you to the download page for Joomla itself. Now on this page, we'll want to go ahead and get familiar with the technical requirements first, as those are quite important to make sure that they correspond with your web hosting environment prior to setting up the Joomla application. So go ahead and click on technical requirements there, and you'll be taken to the technical requirements page. Now, there are two things to keep in mind. Is that Joomla is generally preferred and suggested to be installed in a Linux shared hosting environment as opposed to a Windows hosting environment. So that is something that you'll want to consider prior to installing this application. There are many different web hosting companies on the web which do offer Linux shared hosting for a reasonable price, and you can search Google or Yahoo to find one that suits you best. Now, as far as the requirements is, and you'll probably want to double check with your web host on this, is to make sure that the PHP version, the MySQL, Apache, correspond with the latest version and recommendations on this particular page. If you are using a Windows hosting environment, then you will need to double check the Microsoft IIS version that is currently installed in your hosting environment. Now, this is quite important because if these requirements are not met, Joomla CMS will not function properly. Once you have verified all the technical requirements for Joomla 1.5, we can move on to downloading the package and installing it onto our web server. So we'll want to click the back button here, and under download, we want to download the full package of Joomla 1.5. Go ahead and save that onto my desktop. Okay, so now we have the latest version of Joomla 1.5, and the next thing we'll want to do is upload the package onto our web hosting environment. Now, in this part of the video, and for the sake of the installation and being properly installed, we'll be installing Joomla on a Linux shared hosting environment. And this is something that we'll cover in the second part of, or in the second video for Joomla.